WesWes Show.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the 135 Footy Show. We are there. We're finally there at the end of the year, Grand Final. Welcoming my two guests, happy guests at that as well. Out of the Panthers camp, Tama, how's it going, also?
It's always good. It's always
Yes,
good
mate.
this time of year. If you're a
Look at that
Panthers
smile.
man, um, the good thing about this is even if we lose, I'll just watch them in the grand final next year. So yeah,
Look at the confidence coming off a NRL fantasy win from the boys as well. I forgot to mention you on that, bro.
oh yeah,
Congratulations on that win too, mate.
yeah. Well,
Um,
it's just time my run
Cheers, rolling.
perfectly.
Yeah, yeah, rolling on, mate. And welcome in a very happy Broncos fan and 135 WesWes Network columnist, Simon Armani. How's it going, mate?
Malo boys, Malo whistles, listeners out there, yeah, man, great. Thanks for having me. Also, especially for this very special week, bro. It's awesome. It's like back in the days when Broncos used to regularly make GFs. So it feels good, bro. It feels good. New beginnings happening here. So nah, it's been a great week, bro. Bring it on, Usos.
Yeah, congrats, boys. Congrats on getting this time of the year, getting here. Struggled to come and do the show today. uh, but man, let's get into it because the season has been far too good for me to keep sulking. Let's get straight into our semi-finals over the weekend. Your Panthers, mate. Your Panthers up against the Storm. I'll let you go first, Si. What are your thoughts on this one, man?
Bro, still opening 20 minutes was, it was a good game, man. I thought the Storm opening 20 minutes were, I think they were kind of neck and neck. And to be honest with you, bro, once Leota and Fisher Harris starting to get into the game, probably coming to the 20-minute mark, um, when really all Storm had that, because they were fresh in that first 20 minutes. I think when that lull happened after 20 was when Panthers went to that next level, man. And fucking Fisher Harris, single handedly, I watched him like 3 sets in a row, man. Defensively, just apply pressure and some errors come through the Storm, which kind of forced them on the back foot, and that's where they stayed all game, bro. And I think they're behind the eight ball with the possession. Um, Definitely forwards probably swung the game for Panthers. Um, yeah, bro, Panthers did what I expect them to do. I was probably I was probably surprised. Luai, his input was pretty decent input there, bro, and he had some nice touches. But I just think the Storm, who effort wise was an A plus, but they needed more from their forwards, bro. Old Nelson was, I think they had the right idea. They were trying to niggle them out, but Panthers forwards are too professional for that. And Nelson probably had to show a bit more, not just niggly stuff, but really like apply pressure on defense, and they couldn't do it, bro. They couldn't match them, bro. When Panthers went to that level, man, and did what they had to do. I didn't even think they really got into the fifth gears. So it was a scary quality performance from the Panthers, bro.
Yeah, I think when I watched the game, I thought I thought they just pumped them really. Like the forwards, Fisher Harris, I think put on probably one of his best games of the year. But
How good,
I think
eh?
yeah, Ivan Cleary kind of switched up his minutes too. So he played a big block early. He played pretty much the whole first half, and you don't usually see that. I think part of that was because they moved a sofa off the bench, so he kind of knew that if a sofa's starting, it's probably to do a sofa stuff, yeah, like niggly, you know. So I think yeah, Fisher Harris, the forwards. You're right. I think the forwards really won it. It just gives the backs time to just space and time. You give Cleary space, you give him front football and all of that kind of stuff, and it was always going to happen. I think they deserved to win like that. I think the Storm probably didn't deserve to be in the final just because of their season. You know, they've been so up and down, and it was like that in the final too. I think they scored a try. Their only try of the game that just came from, I think it was just Tango, bit rusty,
One on
and
one, yeah.
so that was like one thing I really liked about the Panthers is that wasn't really too much of the defensive systems breaking down. It was just kind of a one-off thing that happened. They did make another half break, but more times than not, they covered all of it. So I think on a season where they made their mark, the season where most of the good stuff that's happened for the teams come off defense. I think that was more impressive for me their than them on attack because they can turn it on when they want, but the main thing is that they keep like the other teams kind of scoreless. So at little pointers,
Especially with their spine. I thought it was a
yeah,
little maybe this time of the year they're a little bit disappointing. I think it just goes to show how if Grant's quiet, if you're not getting the momentum in the play of the ball, you keep
mm,
Grant quiet. You put numbers on their halves, bro, and it's nothing really on until you get that momentum, And I think that's where the previous week or 2 weeks prior, the first game where Broncos did the same thing. Won that front, that won that battle up front, and they kind of kept that spine pretty quiet. So, like I said, bro, big forwards, Penrith forwards won that for them.
yeah,
That their tries were just finishes in the corners because of
yeah,
that those fast play the balls that Leota and Fisher Harris got them. Those were crucial, man.
yeah. The Storm really
Just
missed the Bromwich boys, eh? And
From last year,
I
yeah.
think I think Olam really missed. He's the Kenny Bromwich.
Uh,
There was a few times
yeah,
on
yeah, just working
defense.
inside of me.
Yeah, defense there. I think it just showed like Olam was kind of iffy on defense this year, just because shows you how much of a connection he had with like Kenny Bromwich working on that side. And I still rate Olam. I reckon like
Mm-hmm.
if he gets one of these like back rows that can work with him, he's still a gun. And I just
Yeah, yeah. I think Liero was disappointing in last week's game and the one that just kept finished. Just he had a good start to a season, but yeah, just some of those little touches from him.
so they had a shocker,
Ah,
man, on the weekend.
bro,
They
you know
needed
the
all their
shocker
forwards
was
firing, bro. And
Nick Meaney played his final
yeah,
against bro the week before because he had like three poor passes in that one set. That just bomb tries, like just his, I don't know what happened. But his right to left was just struggling. Man, one thing about the Panthers, just the patience. That was impressive. Like there was 20, like in that first half, like it was back and forth, and it was just just that pressure. Like they weren't getting out of their 40, so Melbourne was doing a good job, just grinding and trying to keep them down on their 40. But Panthers were happy to kick and back their
uh,
D and just wait for the mistakes. And as soon as they came, man, they punished the Storm. That
that's what I
was
mean. Like they did all right to keep fire with them, but I don't think you're not going to win if you're just in the arm wrestle. I thought in the second half when the scores blew out a bit, they opened them up out wide. They just couldn't finish it. Like we talk about Meany, but a couple of those chances, him and Leo, if they take those chances, bro, they score
uh,
a couple of tries. You never know. So I think they showed maybe the Bronx like they're too good on of a defensive team to just go 5 sets kick and trying to keep them down because they
mhm.
got two devastating ball runners in their wingers to bring it back. You can't hold them out too long. So yeah, they just weren't able to capitalize on on some of those chances they created the Storm. But we were saying that last week. The funny thing is, bro, they are one game away from the grand final. So you'd say they're
Yeah.
maybe only one or two forwards away from.
Yeah.
from upskilling their team. You know what I mean? To really
Is
Mm.
compete on that
Haas?
level.
I heard some Haas to Storm talk. Is that still on the cards or?
I I don't know if you've been keeping up, but we resigned him. We resigned him a million a year for the next 5 years, bro. So we ain't
Yeah.
gonna hear any more of that talk, Moose.
Yeah,
We
but
ain't
no,
gonna hear
he
more of
just
it.
finished upgrading. Now he got another upgrade. He might
He's
just
happy
want to
now.
shake the tree again next year.
He's happy.
You
That
know.
was, I think his agent was trying to. His agent got what they wanted, bro. And we were just waiting for him to take us to that next level. And now we think we truly and I'm being biased, but I think in terms right now, props in the world, bro. One Payne Haas, and just underneath him, bro, is um is Fisher Harris, and I think both can have an effect on the game. I just probably give the edge to Haas with how much tries he can set up and have a hand in through his running and his offload game. You saw on the weekend what he did for Broncos. I think Fisher Harris on defense means more to Penrith than what Haas means on defense. Broncos kind of defend together, kind of thing, but Harris comes out of the line, bro. So there's another thing they can is a bit risky coming out of the line, but 9 times out of 10 he makes the right hit, puts down the right person, and he inspires his team that way. Yeah, with Harris. So like I said,
Yeah,
both.
I agree. I agree with you on the days prop rankings.
Yeah, and
I think Haas.
Leoto's not far behind them, bro. He does his
Yeah,
thing, bro. He's very underrated, but he's definitely a top five prop.
yeah,
I throw in. We'll talk about more about the game, but for Noel Blake, he's probably third for me. I think he had a chance in that game to really stamp his mark, but against Fletcher and Kerrigan, bro, it was too much for Noel Blake. Probably almost like what the Storm showed. Like they got one or two world class forwards, but outside of Grant and Nelson, the rest was a little bit Fox Memorials. With no disrespect to the Storm Pack, but really is
Just because you say no disrespect doesn't mean you're disrespecting him.
well, these guys are what's his name, the captain. He's been there, done that, but he just doesn't have the leg speed to catch up. The Storm captain Welch,
Well,
he's
yeah.
well, he's past his best, and they got some good. And Kator's mean, bro. He'll be better next
He had a
season.
good game. He had a
Yeah,
better game. Like he aimed up, so I was surprised at his game. So good on him on the losing team. Um, cool. Anything else to wrap on that game? Yeah, I think it kind of went the way everyone thought it would. Um, yeah, I think it's just impressive how easily they did it. Just especially against the Storm, like not a usual Storm team, but a team who finished the comp third above the Warriors. But again, I think what the Panthers did to the Warriors the weekend before, just that class, just another level of class coming out. So, yeah, real good win from the Panthers. Over to Saturday's game, man. What a hyped up match it was. Yeah,
electric atmosphere.
man. Yeah, yeah. I guess that was the thing, eh? Broncos, backing up, Suncorp backing up after what the Wires were able to do at their home ground, getting the crowd into it. Um, man, how'd you? Yeah, where'd you watch this one, Tom? Did you watch it live? Was it
Yeah,
home?
so I watched it here. I watched it here with some ardent Broncos supporters. Some of
nice.
whom I'd never seen before this year.
No,
So
Oh,
uh,
new Broncos supporters.
looks
it's great.
like they jumped.
It's great to see the boys back
Uh,
at Starling.
Uh, I think they jumped on the same train as the Warriors fans that came out this year.
oh,
I'd never seen so
it's
many
great.
fans
It's
for
great
both
for the
of them.
game. New
where's
fans, new fans to the game.
Where's
Mm.
James? Is he back home or is he over here?
Uh, he's gone. He's gone somewhere. He's up somewhere today.
Oh,
But he had to move all his Broncos gears. Never hear the end of it. But it was like so that what that was like an amazing game to watch. I think the first half, I think both teams just said, you know what, we'll play no defense at all, and then we will
oh
just
wow. Oh, okay.
attack, attack, attack.
Interesting tacticals.
Yeah, it was just like Well, because the Warriors, pretty much any ball they got, they scored in the in the Broncos. You forget they didn't have much territory in the first half, and the scoreline at halftime probably didn't reflect um, the the nature of the game because I reckon they were right in it because they had left some points on the field with the kicks, but that can't be helped. It is what
Mm.
it is there. But like in the context of the game, I thought like when the Broncos were able to like score with that speed, I reckon the Warriors were killing them on some of the edges there. Um, just some of the like minus the Watini Zeliznia intercept, they pretty much worked them when they got into the half and
But
got their
Watson did come up offside a few times. I think they only caught him offside once.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Man,
I,
he's
I, hardly,
fast,
I
bro.
hardly think that was the biggest transgression by the ref in this game,
The
but
intercepts,
we
the
probably will
intercepts, the intercept try
get
was
to that.
definitely offside. Was
It's
definitely
not
offside.
that's not my
Being
place.
definitely offside. He was on the line. He's running through.
Oh no!
That
What about the centre in front of him?
that offside happens like three
There was
thousand times a
two.
game.
There was two players
Of course, you're gonna.
offside.
The ref just
Watini was
called.
on, but it should have blown up beforehand because we had the quick play of the ball, bro. We had two, and it's just that like that one, bro. Watini was taking his chance, bro. Bloody Walsh had three guys to pass to put in holes, and the man went for the big winger ball and got intercepted. So, but you're right.
Ah,
They did leave a few points on there, but one intercept try. That's two tries. You guys scored on the edges.
yeah.
It wouldn't have been no difference, bro. What about the other times you had the ball? The Warriors had the ball. They kind of
Oh,
struggled.
wait, if we'll get it. Like, if we're gonna get into it, like, if I don't know if it's time to talk about that pass. Like, from as a neutral watching the game, I decided, oh, I'll watch this
Uh,
game and I'll go for both teams. But then I found myself going for the Warriors just
yeah.
for the
But
romance,
I'll set it up for you. It was
The
remember
story.
it was only 24-12. It was 24-12 when that pass happened.
It
So
was 24
they were
12.
still out. There's a couple of tries down by
It
the.
was four tries to three. Like, so it was 24-12 in the context of the game. Three tries looks a lot more daunting than two. But the context of the game was that first, whatever, 12, 15 minutes, the Warriors were right in it. It was like,
Yeah,
it was,
Mm. Yeah, it was a good wrestle.
they decided to play some, like, good defense. And, like, it was, if they had scored, they're only a try behind if they make the kick. And I think the Warriors are the team. If they get one, they can score two, and then they can score three. And that forward pass, I looked at Levy and Junior when it happened, and I go, "Oh man, this guy just ruined the game. He just took he
oh, I wouldn't say
he,
that.
he ruined it because it took all the air out of the Warriors' like momentum. Because the Warriors were rolling, they could have
Yeah, yeah.
scored a few times. I think the ref was terrible, and not terrible, but maybe he made some terrible decisions because he missed that,
That
and he missed.
that was a
How do
shocker,
you
but
miss?
it's, in the context of the game, it wouldn't have made a difference. Also, that
Oh,
was
I don't know, bro. I reckon if the Warriors hold them out there, they score one. It's a completely 24-18 with 20 to go, and the Warriors picking up steam is different to 30-12, and they don't get to the rest of their points if they don't get that.
I thought they had plenty of opportunities. Also, I thought that Broncos, even though we piled on 40, and our young kids still give up the ball, man, too many times, and it's going to be scary against Penrith if they do the same thing. But we definitely Broncos showed that they defended their areas really well. Like you said, I think when Haas and Fletcher came off the field, I'll probably give Warriors the first 10 minutes, and then momentum shifted when Fletcher and Haas started offloading that ball, and in that middle 20 minutes, Broncos just piled on like two or three tries just like that. When they came off, maybe in the last 5-10 minutes of the first half, I think our bench didn't really match it with the Warriors bench, and Warriors definitely had some sets there. But like I said, we defended them really well, and
Uh,
come second half, we just ran away with it.
I think momentum shifted when Reese Walsh stopped playing for the Brisbane Broncos and started playing for the Denver Broncos.
For Broncos. It
Ah,
was a big yeah, like yeah, letting air out of the balloon. It kind of was crushing. I think that's the thing though. Like it is a hard play to defend and read, but Reese has that in him because he kind of skips around that player and he pulls that pass. Usually it's a line ball, and I mean that one was a terrible call from the
But
ref.
he was doing that
But I
regularly.
think
He left a few points
exactly,
on the field,
exactly, and I mean that's
so I don't think it
usual
was the
how he
match.
passes because he's coming across and he's going forward so fast. They can look like they're drifting. I think it's going to be crucial for a final though. Adam G caught a forward pass in that the storm from Garlic over to it was flat. It flat at
Mm,
worst,
yeah,
and he called that a fault. And so I guess now there's scrutiny around this forward pass. That's so it's going to be real hard for Reese Walsh to pull that play because that is just a natural because he's going so fast. It will tend to drift. So I don't know if he's going to get more scrutiny if they're going to start pulling that up in the
yeah,
final, and
yeah.
and that could be a crucial play for him as he skips around with that pass. So um, look, yeah, a momentum killer, but I mean the Warriors had heaps of chances to come back in there. Like you said, like they were in it. Um, I think the Broncos did a good job of getting that quick. Uh, I think we were getting in there. Good D, but it was just so many misses, like just the slips, just a half break that was enough just to disturb the defense. And man, just some of the breaks. Especially, yeah, the wind out of the sails. I guess that's no excuse, but just some of the breaks. Payne Haas's break, Selwyn Cobbo running through the back line like playing touch footy, like just taking the ball. Like it was unfortunate. He could have probably made a try off that and he just took a wrong option at the end. So, man, yeah, they left points out there, but the Warriors had their chances. They were playing perfect. They were up to 12 sets, no errors. Simple Pompey error. So just those little things
Mm.
made to pay for it. But yeah, I think kind of the season's kind of played out, and the teams that are on top are kind of all fallen where they were going to fall. I think the Broncos at Suncorp was always going to be a tall mountain to climb for the Warriors, and it would have been fairy tale.
Hey, bro, it was
But
an
real
awesome season,
encouraged,
man.
yeah, real encouraged by the guys. Like just some little errors there, like that. Josh Curran, that little drop at the line, coming off his chest. Those are small things that the guys can fix up. So yeah, encouraged on a season. Probably didn't get there, but to turn it around like this in a year, yeah, definitely. I'm putting Webster up there of
And they need
coach of the year.
they
Man,
need to do the same next year, bro. Not This is a little
exactly.
window
Yeah,
they got, bro, of
yeah,
some
yeah,
decent players who are coming into the form of their who are coming into good ages, bro, where they can
mm
start winning comps.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
And I think they've got some.
the story is good too for the Warriors.
Yeah,
Like the way you probably didn't see it, right? But over here, the crowd, like the
yeah.
country, just
The
all
buzz,
up
eh?
behind those, like close to All Black status. Like people are watching the Waz more than they're watching the All Blacks, I reckon. And it's a World Cup year. It's
Yeah, yeah.
crazy to
Right
think
in the
that.
middle of the World Cup.
Yeah, league. I think this could be a point where league.
But they always happens back home. I think that when the Warriors do well back home, they get the support, bro. Like I say, everyone comes out of the woodworks, bro, and start jumping on the bus. But they have to regularly compete, man, and stay up there in the eight for the next
Mm.
2 or 3 years at least, bro, so they can try and capitalize on this. They don't lose anyone, I don't think, and I think they're getting Roger and they're getting Harris Talia,
Chanel.
bro.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's two big ins.
Yeah, I think that's huge for the boys. So yeah, I mean, real gutting, real disappointing on Saturday. But yeah, overall and for the future of the club, I'm excited. We joke about it, new fans to the game, but yeah, man, the game is still. The Warriors. You look at a team like the Broncos and the Storm. They're still very young, similar to the Warriors in terms of their lifetime in the NRL. But compared to teams like the Rabbits, Roosters, gives me hope. The Eels haven't won one for nearly 70 years. So in my lifetime, it can happen. Surely it can happen. All right, boys. Let's go to some headlines before we break down the final and your guys' tips on that for next week. So yeah, we mentioned it. Adam G taking on the grand final. Man, a lot of the refs kind of been kicked to the curb over their last few performances. And Adam G getting the nod. Tama, your thoughts? You were gonna touch on Adam G, mate. You got some concerns there.
Oh, not actually. Yeah, concerns, but probably because it's gonna be if the Panthers win, the pin ref. The pin
Yeah,
ref.
you haven't got cash. You haven't got Ashley. Sorry.
Yeah,
Ashley.
the pin. The pin ref. What
So,
stories
waste of being on the
gonna
pin
be?
payroll, if he's
I'm
not
Yeah,
doing the
glad.
final,
it's
I'm
gonna be
glad they
through the
saw
ref.
through that.
No, but Adam G Penrith when Adam G refs, they got a 91% winning rate.
Oh,
So
oh.
that's why I said Penrith is gonna be through the roof if we win, because Broncos winning percent is something like 15 under Adam G.
oh,
So
oh.
like you look at the stats and people are just that narrative of Penrith six again penalty. That's all we're gonna hear. Like if we win, and I expect it because it comes with the territory. they they can never give credit to um, the best junior system in the league and just a perfect storm of juniors coming through at the right time. It's always pin ref and six again, and it's gonna be worse if they win on Sunday and Adam G's at the. I think the
The helm.
stats is something like that. They got a 91% win rate, and
Phew, that's a
Well,
so
I think
that
regardless of who the ref's going to be, I think the two right teams made the finals. You know, like
yeah,
both.
yeah.
Even
I
though
think they've been 1A and 1B. Like
even though I still, yeah, I want someone to tell the people how that was a big. You got that one wrong. You're waiting for the Broncos to fall off a cliff, and
oh
you
yeah,
you still
I
never
did
called them to
that.
make the whole, to make the big dance, bro. So
So
I don't
I'll
know whether
admit,
that was
yeah,
just pure
I
Broncos
was
hate
wrong.
or what.
I was wrong. I was wrong, but also I wasn't 100% being truthful. Most of it was just hate. I was hating. I was super hating on the Broncos.
I
Like
like I
most
like this
people.
one. I like this fellow LMG, but I don't think it's gonna play a big. I don't think it'll play. Hopefully, another howler like that doesn't happen, and when Walsh makes a break, which he will, he's going to be hitting the right person, bro.
Yeah, well, hopefully, there's nothing like that. But I will admit I was wrong about the Broncos, but I was right about the Warriors. I was very early on the Warriors bandwagon, so early that even the true Warrior supporters like Tana and Stace, they weren't sure if I said, oh, I reckon they'll make the top four, and they, oh, I don't know about that. See, they were unsure then, but I called it then because Webster had I was a strong believer in Webster, but Adam G, I hope he just blends in the back and just makes the right calls. You know, you want the
mm,
ref to go unnoticed, but just with the 50 million camera angles and everybody and
yeah.
this pin ref narrative they're pushing, it's gonna be worse if they win, which probably will.
Like other than a couple howlers, like over the whole final series, I mean the refs have been like pretty good. Like
I
the
don't
the
think it's
games
been too
are
bad, eh?
flowing.
Mm.
Yeah, no, the like the Warriors Broncos game, like pretty much other than errors that everyone could see. I mean it was pretty much flowing game both ways.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think the game should be a good one. Hopefully the refs let it run. All right, guys, your predictions on Delhi M. Guess it's all gone behind closed doors. The numbers are being done. I think they get announced tomorrow. Maybe the awards tomorrow or tonight.
Tomorrow I think.
All right. What do you guys got? You guys got in there for Delhi M of the year, mate?
Are you going the team or
Player.
oh
Player.
player?
Delhi M player of the year.
I think Johnson may have missed a couple of games because of his calf. That might come into
Mm,
to play. And what's his name? Cleary missed earlier on, but he brought it home strong. So I think it's going to be close.
Uh,
When they stop counting, Haas,
yeah, I thought
was
this was going somewhere.
he was up there, but I think with the performance of the Broncos, I think there's been probably a bit too many players to share
Yeah.
those points, especially Walsh, who's been
mm,
getting a lot of those points. He's out of the running because he was suspended, but if he had cleaned up some of those errors, bro, and played all his games, I think he would have probably taken out the whole thing. I think definitely will be the fullback.
Just needs to clean up his
Well, I
language,
don't
man.
even know if
And he
he's
would have been
Nah,
eligible
okay.
for fullback.
so that's what I was talking like for the team of the year. The fullback nominees are Tedesco, Ponga, and Edwards.
Yeah, yeah.
How
So he's
Tedesco made it? I have
his
no idea.
Mister. Where's
I know who's voting Teddy.
Yeah.
There
yeah.
must have been some late votes.
But I think he's always one of his team's better players. So he
Oh
always
yeah.
makes the meters, even though the team's not going
Yeah,
so well.
true.
But you'd have to give that one. I don't know. Oh fuck, Ponga brought it home really strong. That'd be a good
Yeah.
battle. But I don't know. Also to take it out, I'm gonna go out a little and say maybe Johnson has done enough to hold on.
Mm.
Mm.
I agree. My pick would be Sean Johnson. I think Dalium, the voting system favors or the main award, the
A dominant player, eh?
it rewards a dominant player. Like if you're
Yeah,
on a really good team with heaps of good players, then you have people taking
but he's
points
always been one of
away
the
from
best,
you.
bro.
Yeah. So like it's like I think they changed it though, where a player can get 6 points. So
Yeah,
I think
two
they have
voters,
yeah.
Oh,
two voters
So
each game.
yeah, but then it means that more players can get more points as well,
Yeah,
eh? So
hmm
I with that being said, I still think Sean Johnson, just for the year he had, and when the storyline throughout the year,
I had a
the fact,
I had a mate. I think it was just the Warriors being too excited. Maybe 3 weeks ago, asked hit me up like, go to me. Oh, this probably pushes him up the way he's playing. Probably the best ever Kiwi. Eh? And then I was like, what do you mean best ever? Like ever? Like player or just half? He goes, oh, definitely the best half. And we had this. I was like, sold it. You fucking just gonna go past Stacey and go past Benji like that? Come on,
uh,
man.
I
And I
don't
think
Joey
he's
know.
been
Johns
playing
went with
mean.
Sean Johnson just recently.
He's been playing mean enough to get this award, but bro, Stacey and Benji have done it consistently, like at least 10 years. Johnson, last time he led the team was 2011, bro. He's been MIA for a good 10 years in between us. He's just come back playing well this last couple of years. So I think there's a bit of a gap there before he get. I think Benji one of our greatest halves, if not player, and I still put Stacey above Johnson, what he's achieved at the moment. Maybe
Yeah,
Johnson go another two. If he gets another two, if he gets this year and next year, then you'd have to give it to him. Say he's up there with them, but not overtake. What do you
yeah.
guys reckon?
I go Benji, Stacy, and then Sean Johnson. I reckon
Hmm.
that's right. Only because Benji he did have a for longevity, but also the
He's got
accolade.
a ring, bro. He's got a premiership
Yeah,
ring, also.
and he's got a World Cup. He won a
Yep,
World Cup.
yep.
People
Don't forget
forget that.
Jerome Hughes. Don't forget
Yeah,
Jerome
yeah.
Hughes.
And Jerome Hughes could be up there
Yeah,
too.
so I
But
mean,
I'd say Benji and Stacy for what he done, and then Sean Johnson. I think it's just recency bias by a lot of these Warriors fans, and also a lot of these Warriors fans they just started watching in round 10 of this year. So
they've, forgot, they've forgotten. They've forgotten a lot what's happened in the last round.
I think they're just gonna say Sean Johnson's the greatest of all time. But yeah,
I think they're
Ada,
getting the
ada.
picker.
All right, boys. A couple points on player movements. Looks like the Knights going over a change of direction, and they are allowing. Looks like Daniel Saifiki and Jaden Brayley to walk. Bit
Big
cool on the
call,
Knights. Yeah,
man.
yeah, they had a
He's the
nice end to
captain,
their
bro.
season.
He's
Yeah, yeah.
he's the captain, Brady. I think he hasn't had a good
He's been,
history with
yeah,
injuries, bro. But
injured. Yeah.
for them to let him go after 1 year, I mean, old mate, what's the guy, the tall guy that's been filling in the Kiwi? He's been awesome, but
Phoenix Crossland. Yeah,
Crossland.
yeah.
yeah. But I just thought for your depth, man, you definitely got to keep. Maybe it's
Spare hooker.
maybe they want a bit more a big name in the forwards, and they're trying
Well,
to
that's the thing.
get
So
some release from
the
the
name
cap.
they're banding to bring in is Alex 12 from the Tigers. That's just kind of like a what's
Mm,
the difference? Now,
yeah.
unless you're saying, oh, he just give it to Saifiki and bring in 12. Like, I didn't
Mm.
get it.
I
Yeah.
even think Sofili's probably a bit more. I mean, he's been quiet this last year or so, but I mean, he's an ex-fucking Origin player. He'd definitely be
Yes, I don't know
a
if it's
better
an
prop
age thing.
than Tall, but I don't know. I don't know.
Well, what do you reckon? Payne Haas to the Knights or?
He's locked up. He's locked. He's
Maybe
almost.
November 1st we'll find out.
We're almost
November
throwing.
1st, you never know, mate.
Hey, I know
Could be on the cards.
I know contracts don't mean nothing these days, but the ink is already dry on that one. He's signed. Who, if he wants to go, he won't be playing for another 5 years because we'll tell him to wait on the sidelines. We've given him
You can't go
everything he's
anywhere. You
asked
just
for.
can't play anymore.
Everything he's asked for, bro.
All right, boys. Before we get into the final, Mel put out a potential Toa Samoa team last week. I think it was. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts in terms of the tour? Who do you think of some of the front runners? I think we still got Swali'i. He's still here. He's not moving to Union till 25, is it?
I think they'll be missing Luai though. Definitely in the halves there. I think we might have to fall back on old Milf in the halves. I
Wolf.
mean, who else we got? I think that's the biggest thing. Like we'll have a pack to match with Bolo in there. Some of those Cronulla boys. But maybe light in the spine, man. Especially if Luai is most probably going to take this off season off to get that
Shoulder.
ready.
Yeah,
Definitely,
yeah.
we'll definitely test it on Sunday, bro. Because I don't think Storm really threw too many runners at him. I think they protected him pretty well. Crichton there on the edge.
Yeah.
But it'll be a different story when Katoni and we get some of these edges like Ricky running onto him. That left side of the Panthers versus guys like Walsh, Ricky, Cobo, Katoni. They'll definitely have Luai busy. But yeah, I don't know, bro. I haven't been. Are there any halves that I've missed out?
Yeah, I was just trying to think of the Samoan house. I was just trying to rack my brain to the teams, like who's
Or like Volkman or
I think
someone.
Volkman was
oh
there
yeah, Volk.
thereabouts,
Yeah.
so he might make a debut or another debut.
Schuster.
Um. Oh
If
yeah,
they're really
yeah.
stretched.
Actually, I don't know. Probably him or
Actually, yeah,
Milford
you
didn't
could
really
probably
bother
fit
me.
him in there
Um,
to all be back. Um.
Who's the hooker? Levy.
Yeah,
where's Levy
Kiwi.
been?
Yeah, yeah. He's
Canberra.
been injured. He's been
Who did
injured,
we have?
so
Yeah, fuck, I don't know. There's a different at the hole there, and hooker. I don't think there's too many Hummels going around at 9.
Mm.
Bro. So it'll be
Oh,
interesting to see.
the Eagles guy. Champion. Gordon Champion.
oh
Oh
yeah, yeah.
yeah, he made
Is
his
he
debut.
someone?
Or even
Yeah,
Jazz.
yeah.
Jazz.
We got Jazz come
Ah,
off the
yeah.
bench.
Jazz can come in.
He should be fresh. He
Or
hasn't
will
had
he
too
go
much of a season,
Kiwis?
so yeah, Jazz. Yeah, no, that's a good name.
Who did he
Yeah,
have
yeah. I
at
guess that
fullback?
fills up the
Swali.
spine. Yeah, Swali if he's
Yeah,
available.
definitely. Oh, I don't know. It was
Well, looks
Fulton.
like Hammers because he was in the Australian 13.
So
Yeah.
that's one we've got to mention. I don't know if I mentioned that one, but it was that sad of Hammer to be just using us as don't get in the first time. We'll try my luck with the Kangaroos first, and then. But hey, good on him, bro. He's had an awesome year, so he deserves it. He's born and raised there. But if I had to pick, bro, I'll put Crichton at fullback and put Tuali'i on the wing with To'o.
On the wing.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, as an aerial target. Yeah.
We got a few more Samoans there. Play at centre. Take a pick, man. Sever is good. I'd even give this guy from Melbourne, bro, a chance, boys.
Falongo.
Yeah,
Was it?
in the
Oh,
squad.
Falungo. Yeah, true.
In the
Yeah, you
squad.
have him on the bench.
Oh, you got Bula. Jareem Bula.
Yeah, half Fiki, half Sai.
Yeah.
How's he have someone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ish.
I reckon
So
he will.
we'll see if Fiki picks him up or whether he goes with
Yeah.
Samoa.
Yeah, there's some exciting backs. Forwards, Tino should be there.
Well, Samoa? Nah, he's from
Oh,
Oz.
nah, yeah, he's already Aussie, yeah. But Fafita. David Fafita.
Nah, Australia.
See, it's the thing. All these forwards are
Listen,
choosing Australia now.
we need some more of these big names to come across, especially in the pack.
Leoka will go Kiwis.
Who's that?
Leota.
Yeah, he's a Kiwi. He's
Did
starting for role.
Papali'i stand down from all representative or just state of O? He's getting on
He
there.
he just joined the Tigers. he he just joined the Tigers.
No.
That's
You're talking
Oh,
about I think both of them should be if
oh Josh.
no,
yeah.
Josh.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I don't know.
Man, if I was the coach,
Yeah,
I'd call him.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Josh,
I'll say
we
give
need
the
you.
call.
We need you.
Oh, and then
just
there's Braden Hamlin Wille and what's his name?
Policia.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he'll be good.
But Asia,
Blood
fucking
him.
playing awesome off the bench.
Yeah, I rate him on
Mm.
his way out of the Broncos, of course.
That's why we fucking gave. That's why Hasa staying. We had to give him Mesa Palestinians money.
See, so if it's me sharing out the kids' money, man, trying to keep these guys in the team. All right, boys. Cool. That's the all I had on the talk around the trips. Let's get into it, man. What a final! Like you guys said, man. It was yeah, the two teams that should have been in the final have ended up here. Congrats, firstly. Um, but man, what a matchup! All across the park. Stags 100 games, Croydon's 100 game. It's a few
True,
milestones, so
true.
yeah,
On the grand
it's
final.
gonna be
Wow.
massive. Yeah, man. Um, yeah, I'll let you go first, Si. You've given us a few pointers already.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
excited, bro. I'm excited that I think, especially with a team like Brisbane, we got a team that can play footy, man. That's exciting for the game itself. That even though the scoreline was a bit pumped out on the weekend against the Warriors, Broncos pile on points, man, and that's got to have Penrith worried. And I think you need that against Penrith. They're such a good team defensively, as a team, as a system. Um, but where the Broncos will have that edge is 1-on-1. I think they've got a lot more players 1-on-1 that can, if not make little breaks, but definitely bend the line. And the same thing they did to the Warriors when they get their offloading game on and they can get that ball out wide straight away. It's hard to defend, man. Even with a good system as good as the Panthers are, um, I just think that the Broncos, the confidence to play that kind of footy, and not only with the confidence to play the footy, but to defend if it doesn't happen. If you make an error, which Broncos have made an errors, and on the weekend they were lucky enough to just shut down the Warriors with just 3 tries. One of them coming off intercept, so really it was only a couple of tries where they opened us up out wide. In saying that, we probably gave them a bit too many chances. Panthers get those chances. All it takes was guys like Fisher Harris and Leota. They find their front pretty good, and even from landing on their front to getting that player, the ball so fast. It just comes to millimeters, man, and they can make those numbers out wide. Broncos is a really up and in rushing kind of defense team, so um, that can add a bit of pressure to, especially with the number one and Cleary coming out. But I don't know. I think if we get into that grind with Penrith, they've done it too many times. They'll go down in history as one of the best teams ever. They'll probably cement it if they win this 3 in a row. They're already up there as one of the best teams ever, I would say. But you could probably put them right up there with a win on the weekend. And what Broncos doing now, bro? They got a little window where I think they're going to be missing a lot of players, a handful of players next year, which would mean they probably weaken the side a little bit. So this is their little miniature window where all these guys are firing, and they're young. They don't have any really bad losses against. I mean, they lost to Penn. They played each other twice, 1-1, 1-1. We beat them at the start of the year in an arm wrestle kind of a game where. But that was the first game of the year, and Penrith was coming off a loss against the club, and they weren't the Penrith that we're seeing now. And Penrith just did what they had to do in the second game, but we were missing we were missing Reynolds in that second game. And that was a big out. I mean, you take Reynolds out of this Broncos game, and one with the kicking game, and two the confidence that he gives these players, and especially his ball movement. When I say we have the players to go one on one, beat anyone one on one. It's the pass selection of Reynolds to put his outsides
Putting them
on the right spot. So like I said, it's kind of it's almost unknown for me. I'm not trying to be cocky, but it's 50-50, man. I don't see. I see what Penrith can do, but I've seen us defend really well. So, and I see what we can do on offense. And I don't know if every other single team in this competition, we've opened them up, bro, and we got the ability to do this against Panthers because they're such a structured team that we just. Well, not like offload at will, but just if we just get that ball movement going, bro, we can open them up out wide. So it's exciting, in that this game's gonna come down to a footy game, bro. Like both teams will have to move that ball around to because I almost think forwards will kind of like almost keep each other quiet, like we'll match each other, and both teams will have a sniff down on each other's lines, bro. Um, like I said, bro, Panthers, they double up on the inside runners. Their second rows are awesome, bro. You got to be tight up in there, and not only that, when they go back man play, they're so good at the quick hands. Crichton quick hands, the fullback. So it'll test Broncos, but like I said, I think of their up and in style, and they're very athletic, fast speedsters. Who that speed that they show on attack, they almost save them on defense as well. So, I don't know, bro. I don't know if you can really say your favorite. TAB's got Penrith favorite because what they've done in the last couple of years, but Broncos are showing this is the first team in a long time that's got the arsenal to do it against this quality or this legend team, bro. You put them up there, they're a legend team. We'll look back in 10 years and we'll go, like, shit, man, these guys made 3 grand finals in a row. So. I don't know, up to you. Also, anything different this year? Also, just another
I,
year. Pretty confident.
you know what? I think like if you're as I
You
am,
worried at all?
I am worried. I worry about all these grand finals because it's a long-suffering Penrith Panthers fan who was there when the Raiders put Stephanie on us in 2008 with our only wooden spoon to date. And the centenary of league, that was a dark time for us. And to be standing here, 15 years later, on the precipice of history, in our 4th grand final in a row, and which should really be going for our 4th title in a row if it's not for that hairy chested hooker from Queensland standing in our way in 2020. I think you worry about all these games, but at the same time, I've made peace with this game if they lose because I already know the that it's probably the toughest test. I think with the Broncos of 2023, I'd commented. I was saying to Junior, I was like during the when I thought they were gonna fall off a cliff. I said, these guys, when they started gearing, like building up, I go, these guys look like 2020 Panthers. I thought like they'll probably be a year off winning the title, but the way they just kept going, I think they're just the 2023 Broncos. I think they're right in there to win it. If you look at the team that gave us the most trouble this year was Parramatta, who, I was thankful they didn't make the 8 because it would have been tough for us to see them in the.
They beat you twice.
Yeah, they beat it. And the last time they pumped him. And then if you look at the style of game they played in that game, the Broncos play that exact same style with
Exactly.
faster, stronger, more athletic
The
guys.
Eels have
Yeah,
this confidence where they think, man, we can throw it around these guys, and
yeah,
and it's big,
absolutely.
man, and they score and they win. They won those 2 games. So I don't know why other teams haven't really pounced on that. Eels.
I
Um,
think what I found or what I is that if they get behind, like there's nobody that in the league. I think there's nobody that protects a lead like the Panthers. So if they score one on you, you're like, all right. But if the Panthers score two on you, that's a pretty big task for any team. So I think that's one of the things that they'll have to worry about is if the Panthers kind of get away. But like I said, I think the Broncos are a like more athletic, like more dynamic version of the Eagles play style. If you watched um the game like against the Warriors played like a Penrith pretty
Mm.
much a Penrith
Yeah.
style offense now, like
Yeah,
where the back five are taking big carries, and then you just see Fonua Blake and um,
yeah,
if
coming on
it's
the
Neil
floor for the
Corday,
last.
yeah, and
Mm.
then they just try and kill them with line speed
I've
at
been
the
saying that all year, bro. Penrith 2.0 is us.
yeah. So
Nah, it's the doggies. It's the
yeah,
doggies.
oh, so
Nah,
is it?
good points. I think yeah, on that point, like similar to the Warriors, I think that's where the Broncos will struggle on that D. So as
Mm.
much as the Storm played really good against the Panthers, holding them in that first half, the Panthers were struggling to come out of their 40 with that Storm defense. Look at the Warriors and Broncos. Even with the Broncos holding the Warriors down, getting them on the back, the Warriors are still getting out of their 50. So that's something they're going to really struggle trying to pull back that Panthers pack and trying to hold them in there. The Storm were able to do it. Can the Broncos do it for long periods? The expansive play, like I guess the Reynolds touched on it. That's not their normal game plan. It worked against the Warriors. Against the Panthers, you got to get those right every time. You know, Reese Walsh is so confident he'll throw those passes, and he does have a few errors. And so I think it's really trying to pick his moments. I don't think he's going to be as loose as last week because I think the Panthers will make them pay every mistake. I think that's probably just the one thing he's got to be conscious about. But yeah, hopefully he doesn't rein in his game. I doubt they'll be telling him that. Experience, they say you got to lose one to win one. And you look at across this pack, outside of Capewell and Reynolds, this is all new for these
Yeah,
guys. As
bro.
much as they've been to great heights. Cobbo, Reese Walsh, all these guys playing Origin. They've been to those big arenas, but these guys have the experience in terms of playing in a grand final. Done it twice now. Pretty much all of these players, most of them.
I think
So some of
the
them,
pressure's on Penrith. Fools. The pressure is on Penrith to replicate a three-peat. The best opportunity the teams had to do this, and sort of the last it's like 40 years, man.
yeah, yeah,
I think at the same side of the coin, the Broncos, they got nothing to lose, man. They got guys in their early 20s in the big dance. So
mm,
I hope Kivy doesn't rein them in and just, tell the boys, just do what you've been doing all year, man. Go out there, have fun, throw the ball around. But it doesn't work, knuckle down and do the hard work like they have been doing. Defend their errors, man.
I
mm,
think with Reese Walsh, like his mentality, it's why like I really like watching him because
yeah,
if he throws three intercepts, he's still gonna throw that fourth if it's gonna go to a
There's no
tie.
fear.
yeah.
No
Harder,
Yeah,
fear.
harder.
he's got a gunslinger
Yeah.
mentality, and you love
Yeah.
to watch those kind of players. And
Yeah,
it's like that's what I said. Like in the 2020 Panthers, they said about them, they don't fear, they got no fear of failure,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
think you get out of Reese Walsh. Is like he threw the intercept to Watson, and he came back two plays later and threw
Yeah,
pretty much
he
the
threw it
same
again.
ball, and he's just kept attacking.
Same
So
play. He hit Herbie short,
mm,
and then he got another one. I think it was the
And
first
that was
half where he
I didn't
cut through
even
the
know
middle
where
and he
that
went back
ball
in the
went when
inside.
he hit him short. I was like,
oh
oh, did
yeah,
it knock on? Rah.
he
Hey,
still attacked that side.
knock on.
That's
Yeah.
Ah,
what.
mate. Mate. You're still
All right,
you're still
boys.
looking at why is it Zelensky he thought he had the ball out wide, eh?
Oh,
Well, that's that was another point.
When
Like
Herbert
just the way
scored.
the Warriors were getting around. You were saying that Broncos up and out. up and in defense. Man, the Panthers pull that play off so well. Just their passes.
Well,
Crichton does
Warriors
it without even looking.
Warriors opened them
Sometimes he
up
just
wide
throws it.
early twice,
Mm.
but I thought that we kind of like defended that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So they kind of afterwards they kind of made adjustments. So that was good to see.
I think the Broncos, like how we were talking about, kind of their defense on the edges is kind of not iffy, but like not as strong as maybe it could be. I think like because they're so athletic and like super fast and super dynamic, like as a team, they make up for their mistakes or like if they lose track of a play because they're so fast, they just scramble back and make it and just so like hides or not hides but makes up for their mistakes. So the first game they played the Panthers, we the Panthers outstripped them a few times, but because they're so fast, they just got back there
Yeah, yeah.
and cleaned up.
Covered. Mm.
Yeah. So I think that's the hallmark of the Broncos defense. The thing, like I said earlier, the Panthers are one of the all-time front runners, so they can't really afford to let the Panthers get in too much of a
Yeah,
Head
head
start.
start.
way too much too early.
All right, boys. Before I make you guys have a call on the game, we'll do some hardcore analysis now in terms of who do you choose player for player? Because man, there's some good matchups across the board, but we'll get your guys' take on each. Dylan Edwards, Reese Walsh.
Oh, Walsh, hands down,
Oh,
easy one.
it's hard
Thomas.
to call when one's on either side.
Between the two of them, only one has a Clive Churchill medal.
Oh,
One has already shown his wares at this level, and as a big time player in a big time system, who has made himself arguably the best, who we very well might see as the Dally
Well, you're
M.
looking at CVs.
Yeah. So,
Come on, bro. You're talking about
Dylan,
CVs. Walsh is in his third year. Come on, give him a chance. He's played
wait,
two
wait,
years for the Warriors, man.
Dylan Edwards, I think, takes this.
All right.
oh, okay,
He's another
nice.
front rower with big meters. All good.
Dylan Edwards.
Taruva and Arthurs.
Well, one's the rookie of the year, the other one got kicked off the Warriors.
He made one error last week, but I thought they kept kicking him to his wing, and he caught everything else. But I don't know. I probably have to
Actually,
give. I was gonna say Taruva because he's probably played a bit more and more consistent. Well, Arthur's done well to keep Oates on the bench, so I'll give that one to Taruva.
yeah,
Nice.
I'll give it to Taruva as well, no bias. But in saying that, Arthurs has been really good this year. I really enjoyed watching him, and
Safe, bro. Safe.
yeah, he's really good.
All right, Tango Katoni Stags.
Oh, Katani, easy, easy.
Someone's
Katani was watching the PNG fella beat him 1-on-1, and he was like licking his lips. Like, he was like, oh, shit. Early ball. Give me early ball. Shit.
Yeah, that was a bad miss from Tango and Olam.
yeah.
Yeah, outside of injury though, like he's been good, but yeah, the injuries have probably made him
That was a bad
tougher
throw
this
from
year.
Tango. He showed his hand there. Like, that was a bad miss, too. He didn't even do anything. He just caught the ball just on his outside and just carved him, bro.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he's coming off a pec injury, and so he
Also,
may
it's not
be
100%, is it? You're
yeah.
playing below.
I think he just pulled a bit there. But if I have to pick one, um, both are nominated. Keep in mind that both are nominated
No.
um, for Dally M Centre of the Year, and these two centre pairings are the best in the comp by far. Um, I would have to give it to Stags because he is the best attacking centre in the comp.
Easy, Stacks.
Yeah.
Easy.
Nice.
Not easy. Not
Against
easy.
Tango. Come on, bro.
Not easy. I mean, it's probably
Tango,
like
Tango's
split
got enough to
decision.
get to their level. I mean, Tama hasn't even made a fucking a porn tape yet. He's got a
That
lot. He's got a lot to do to get on Stags levels.
he
So you got
split
to go
decision.
viral.
Yeah.
Got to go viral.
He ain't
All
even on the
right.
level.
Oh man, another good matchup. Crichton and Farnworth.
Ooh, I think on form, Herbie easy on form. Crichton's probably a better player overall, like more balanced. But Sole as a centre one on one, fucking Herbie's been give him the centre of the years. You give him the Dalian, bro. He is probably one of the best form centre of the comp. You can't deny that.
I think the
I
last
don't think
time
so.
Farnworth and Crichton went head to head in a big time match, Crichton sent
And
Samoa to
Samoa,
the
England.
final and started a week of parades in the country.
And Herbie was the best. Herbie was the
And
best in his team for England. Remember, scored that
Yeah,
try, bring them back in it.
but it's hard to get past Critter. For me,
yeah.
I think Critter is the best defensive center in the comp. Best reads, he gets the intercepts, but more often than not, he makes the right read. He works well with the winger. I'll have to say Critter on this one.
I don't mind credit. I rate him.
I
I
agree.
rate him.
Yeah. Big loss for
All
us.
right. Cool. This one, Brian To'o and Selwyn Cobo. If you're going
And
form,
just not even a debate. One of these
Oh, it's a
wingers,
debate. It's a debate.
one
It's a
one of
debate.
these wingers is a generational talent who redefined how his position should be played in 2021, 2022, 2023. If you can't make meters out of your own half, you can't be a winger, and that's
Yeah,
because
I'll
of
give him that.
Brian.
Cobbo doesn't make the quality hit ups that he does. But if you're thinking about like your, your toolkit, I think he's got more tools in his kit bagels. I think
Yeah,
um, I think there's an error in him. I want to talk him up, but like I'm going to say tall because of what he's done, as what he's produced. But you take his meters away from him, and he's just a finishing winger. He does all right in the wing, but like it's his meters that's made him the best.
yeah,
Don't get me wrong, Cobbo he can tough carry, but Cobbo can do some special shit, bro. Some chip and chases. He can do some. He made a shocker. Like he was about an
yeah.
hour late with that tackle on Chance on the weekend. But
hour early. Oh, he got there before the game to make that tackle.
I think
but
he tackled him in the regular season.
but if you can eliminate those like all of those stupid errors, so man, he can make something out of nothing else. But yeah, I say to all man, give the also credit. He's probably been the best wing the last 2-3 years.
Yeah. In this day and age, it's total. But if it was 2012, you'd say Kobe. Modern day winger is total.
All right, and Ezra Mem did all right last week. Ezra Mem and Jerome Luai.
Um, you know what was like with his CV and what he's done, it's an easy one to lie. But if I'm talking about leading up to this game and what he's produced in 2023, I'm gonna say Israel's because, like I said, he's on form and it was so good on the weekend. No one was talking about him, bro. But he lit up on the left hand side. I think he
Hmm.
scored a couple of tries, set up a couple. So bro, he's one for. They kind of bring the same things they do to their team, like a bit of unpredictability on their left hand side. And I think maybe with speed, you're going to give that to Mam, and Mam backs up his forwards a lot better. And we guess that combo with Walsh, that he's a good support player. Don't get me wrong, Luai can be dangerous, bro. He's a bit of one of those hop and skip. When he's playing off the cuff, he's dangerous as. But I don't know. I thought Mam on form and this year's form especially, he deserves that for me to be just ahead of Luai. Luai's coming under injury cloud as well. So he was all right without being too spectacular on the weekend.
I
They'll need
think.
him to bring more out of him.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm a well known Luai. True blue Luai
Fanboy.
supporter. I am a fanboy of the highest order of Jerome Luai. But I think in this game, I think you'd have to give it to Mam, just for a couple of reasons. For the season he's had, and for the fact that Luai's coming in
Thank you,
probably like
Mums. I
fifty
think that's the
percent.
first time he's shown some objectivity deals
Yeah, the thing that really impressed me with Mam,
against you,
his
especially against your boy, Luai.
yeah, well, it's good Lord till I die. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, Mam is pretty. He's like pretty ace on defense. Like
Yeah, yeah,
if
For
there's
for his
definitely.
size,
him on
bro.
the
Yeah.
edges, it's not him. He's like a gun on
That's
defense,
right,
and
bro.
just like when you talk about speed in the Broncos, you think about Walsh and Cobu and
Yeah.
all of that.
But
But
he's got it as well, man. Off the mark
he's
speed.
probably right up there for fastest in the team over 20 meters. So I will give it to Man in 2023 on this particular day.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I think yeah, given a season two, like yeah, Luai's I think the expectations of Luai as well make it real hard to kind of make a let him stand out. I guess he came off an injury cloud beginning of this year, real slow start to his season. Hangover from his all the work he did for Toa, Tama.
Mm.
But I think throughout, yeah, in terms of form, yeah, and just what he brings to the team, just that balance as well. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Ezra's been up there. Man, toss of the coin, Adam Reynolds and Nathan Cleary.
Whew, the heavyweights. The heavyweights.
Yeah, the heavyweights, right?
Um, yeah. Also, I think with the value to the team and what he means to their side, I think they're both up there, eh? But I just think, to be honest with you, I think Reynolds has got a better kicking game. Short game, long game, long game. They probably
Kicking.
match each other. Both both sevens have the ability and done so in the past to ice games when it comes to drop goals, long and short. No, long drop goals, short ones. I'm going to say with the variety of kicks, I think Reno, just how he can do like little short ones, pop just over the top to hit Cobo. Um, yeah, you probably have to give Cleary the points when it comes to the defense. But you know what? I think Cleary needs this win because I don't know. And I agree with some punters out there, some journalists there, kind of saying that he's not. He'll probably get there eventually, but he's not at that Joey Johns, Thurston level yet. He probably requires this win to put him up there. But I think his inability to dominate at Origin is almost like a letdown for him, and that's sad because that's not nothing to do with him. That's just how Gaia New South has been. Um, but being the number seven, you wear that criticism. You know what I mean? But he hasn't done too much wrong. He's always there or thereabouts. The thing with Reno, he doesn't play a full season, so they kind of iced him and looked after him. He's a koina.
Mm.
But with the experience, he's already got a ring under his belt. I think Reno just.
I think this is the easiest pick out of all of them. One of these players has current career trajectory is to be the greatest player of all time he's ever played in 150 years of league, and the other one is Reynolds. I think one of them.
A premiership winner
Uh,
in the
eh,
past
if we're
that
gonna
New
talk
South should
about
have picked this year.
if we're gonna talk about that, Nathan Cleary won the Clive Churchill Medal in 2021. Who was the opposite halfback there? Mr. A. Reynolds himself. So, if you look at it, they already have a matchup in the same arena, and it's 1-0 Cleary. So, I think Cleary is better than Reynolds, obviously, and I think in this situation, he's better than Reynolds. I think everything is just firing for Nathan Cleary. He would have he would have played his best um finals game ever against the Storm if he didn't play a better game against the Warriors the 2 weeks before. So he's peaking at the right time. You're the best player in the world playing the best form of his career right into a final. So how
It's
can
a
you
coin
get
toss, mate. It's a coin toss.
generational talent like Nathan Cleary?
Oh, it's a big one. It's a hard call. I'm actually gonna pip Reynolds on this too.
Oh, he
Just
knows.
as
He knows.
and I think maybe team wise, like I said, because he's playing with a Kaya New South Wales team,
Oh,
and just the shapes that they have in the Panthers, Reynolds has. I guess, like we were saying earlier, with the attacking that the Broncos have, just watching the season, it's just a masterclass. Just watching some of the games because he's got so many options. He looks like he's kicking, then he runs, passes. He looks like he's going to pass, runs, kicks. Like Reynolds, I mean, no doubt Nathan Cleary can do that. I just don't think he gets as much opportunities. It's the same shapes
If
and
Reynolds was
to the
running
edges.
behind the Penrith pack, the New Zealand Kiwis forwards, props, he already done the three-peat already. He would he would have beat the Storm 2 years ago. We were looking
get
at
it,
four. But
get out
Again,
of
it's a
here.
coin toss, but yeah, I'm backing Reynolds on that. Yeah, just what I've seen this year. And just as his impact on the club too. I mean, Nathan Cleary, like we've seen. Again, it's probably credit to the Panthers system. It probably doesn't show as much.
yeah,
That the fact that you can put Cogger in either 6 or 7 and he does a job because they have that next man up mentality.
and let's be
Is
honest,
what Reynolds brings for the
Reynolds been fetching the
Broncos.
team. Cleary
Exactly.
just listens to Dad. Dad, what should I do? What should I do? Don't worry, son. I'll write it on your wristband. I'll write it on your wristband. Whereas Reynolds goes down, he's calling the shots, bro. He's the one doing all of it.
All right. The Ford battle where it's gonna be won and lost. None of that flashy back stuff counts if these guys don't get it right. Flegler Leota.
Flegler, right now, I love Moses. And I think Moses has got the similar
Oof.
game to Flegler where they can hit. Both players can
No wonder he's
hit.
underrated. You just said he was underrated, and that's why people like you just
No,
writing
but
him off
I
straight
think
away,
what
man.
Flegler's done in the last 3 weeks, especially adding in that, he's always had that footwork, but he's got a late offload, bro. I think footwork probably puts it in his puts the points in his corner. I mean, like I love Muslim, man. He's fucking. I love all those Usos in that Penrith team, but I just think Fletcher deserves the credit to how he's elevated his game this year. How he's kind of gotten rid of all the dumb penalties he used to give away.
Mm.
He used to be suspended for stupid hit high shots, and I think he was able to calm that down without taking away from his power play. So I think, man, yeah, Fletcher for me, just and what he can bring in terms of his offense.
Wow. People have been talking about the Bash Brodies, Fisher Harris and Leota as the new generation, the best prop pairing since Webke and Seven Deceiver. And I think that's an apt description.
Till Haslem and Fisher come along.
Yeah, well, Fletcher's gone anyway. He's gone next
This
year.
is this is the year. This
Yeah.
is the one year.
But Fisher Harris and Leota, they're pretty much the shield and sword of the Panthers Panthers forward pack, and they both operate on different roles. Sometimes it's Leota leading the ultra fast line speed and super aggressive, and sometimes it's him taking the big hit ups. At key moments, usually it'll be Fish, but I would rate Leota over Flegler in this. I think just given his last couple of years and because of the chemistry of the Bash Birdies, I rate them times a million, and I rate um, him, especially Leota, is um, better than Flegler.
That's fair. That's fair.
Mm, mm. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna break the bias there, then, and I'll jump on the Leota wagon as well. I think just consistency. Like, man, as a Queenslander, I want to plug Flegler. He's had a mean season. But yeah, I think just what Moss has done throughout the year and continues to do, huge for that forward pack. Um, I think the impact, Flegler, if you're missing him from the Broncos pack, you're not struggling to find someone who could do a job. Probably not to the same level, but you'd be able to fill in. Losing Leota, that combination makes a huge difference. Lemieux can step up, but he's not Leota. So yeah, I give a extra tick there for Leota. All right, the nines, man. This is kind of a battle. Was kind of a Panthers struggled to fill this gap after losing Uppy. Um, so yeah, Mitch Kenny and Billy Walters, a real ordinary start to the season. I don't know what the Broncos were going to do at hooker, but man, he's come right. So
Mm.
how are you seeing this? Tama, I'll go to you first, mate. Mitch Kenny, he's been thereabouts. Sonny Luke, unfortunate injury earlier in the year. I thought he was looking promising to come
Yeah.
into the starting.
I think they both kind of serve different roles. I think
Mm,
Mitch Kinney's a high energy guy. Um, I think Mitch Kinney, I had my doubts on him at the start, but I'm a believer in Mitch Kinney now.
oy,
He serves his role perfectly for the Panthers, so much so that they don't even carry a specialist hooker on the bench anymore. They rather just leave him up for the 80 and they have someone else plug in. He's just all his defense is probably the best in the league in terms of hookers. Maybe his attack is not as polished or as good as Sonny Luke, but I rate Mitch Kinney. Billy Walters, I have been rubbishing him all year. I came into this game on Saturday and I was like, Billy Walters, you guys are gonna get pumped. And then he just
How good was he on Saturday?
how good was he? I think
yeah, nice
because on
guy.
the back of that and some of the other games he think made, I'll probably pick Walters in this case. I think Billy Walters has
Oh
really
wow, nice
come
horse,
on, and
nice.
Wow.
I think Walters for modern day nine is good. I think if you put him into the Panthers, he wouldn't work, but Kenny works for the Panthers. I think, but Walters is a better. He's He's a legit NRL nine now.
It
You
took him a
know?
while.
Yeah,
He was one of those, probably the best, one of the good jack of all trades kind of players, like a 14
Mm.
who
Yeah,
can
yeah,
cover.
just kind of filling in and
But he's learned to play big minutes at nine, and I think he still had a few bots like option taking moments on the fence. But I think he's always been good defensively, and his service has always been good.
mm,
But it's like learning when to have a go and when to pass. That he's kind of been everyone's been quick to judge him.
yeah.
But bro, on form since the final series, he's playing his best football, and I think confidence wise
Mm,
on Saturday, you saw that try, that easy try, he scored that dummy half. Um, bro, just to have the confidence to
forward.
throw that in the prelim final, bro, with a marker pretty square. They just fell for that dummy. And I think going wide has got a lot to do with him. When they get that quick play of the ball, you just gotta give Walsh Skamati space, bro. And every second counts when someone's playing the ball and you pass from the deck. And I think Billy Walters got a lot to do with that, especially when they offload. They offload back to nine. What does he do? Straight up. So I'm with Tom. I didn't start off the year really well, but he sold me. I was one of those guys thinking, "Fuck, we need a nine. We need a proper nine
Yeah,
just to finish
yeah.
off." But props to him and the Koinga as well. It's fucking not easy coaching your son. But
Harder.
I think Billy's been able to put those critics at bay by just off his performances, and he deserves to be where he is at the moment, bro. He's probably the form nine of the comp.
yeah.
Mm,
Speaks to how good a season he's been having. Like his run of form
Yeah,
in the
bro.
latter half when they're not begging for Ben Hunt like they were
yeah,
um
yeah.
the Broncos
I
fans
don't know
were.
how true
Harder.
that was.
Looking to
That
try and fix it up.
They were asking you guys
this,
to rot the salary cap to bring Ben Hunt. He
bro,
didn't believe in
Broncos never
himself.
offered him nothing. Bro,
Ha 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 ha.
we're happy. We're happy. I don't know why they was chopping the Broncos. Were like, we don't want you, bro. You already chopped the fucking high ball. Cost us the 2015 final.
Oh,
He don't
Oh,
need that. He don't need that.
let it
oh,
go.
s-
Wa
oh, man,
Malakaini.
that's a
Wa
first comment, eh?
Malakaini.
First comment as soon as you hear that guy's name, eh? Let it go, let
It's-
it go. It's all
it's-
right. This will put all your pain to at ease if you guys can do this week. All
We
right,
only
coming in at prop man. You guys already talked about this, but are you still feeling the same way? Payne Haas, James Fisher Harris, Kiwi
yeah.
prop, mate. Hopefully he stays good for the Kiwis.
Yeah, I want to say because I've been a big fan of Haas the whole way, but Fisher Harris for me is but still one of my favorite players. Man, I love this guy, especially first time I seen him put on the Kiwis jersey, and he's just pure heart, bro. He's probably the heart and soul of that team.
It's mana.
You keep him quiet, bro. You got a long way to beat him, bro. He's he's the everything starts with him, bro. Quick play of the balls, the line speed, and he's missing what Haas is missing. What he's got, like he's got a big shot on him, and I don't know, he's got a bit more leadership. I don't know if Payne probably shows it in a different way. But what swings the pendulum to Payne Haas is just the engine, bro. He's got how many meters he makes post contact. It's just hard to bring down. And I think that's what people have been in love with, just the way he's been not only making those meters like 160 plus, almost 200 per game, but not only that, he covers the ground really well, bro. He's able to go on the edges and save some tries, and he's probably one of the biggest minute props going on. Broncos kind of pulled back this year with his minutes, and so they should have. But he's capable of playing big minutes. He's probably one of the rare big boys that can play those minutes. It's still a tough one for me. I did a big write up on my column about him because I think he's got the ability to be huge when he finishes his career. But right now, like Fisher Harris and what he shown, his ability in big games in the last couple of years, I'll probably have to swing it and Fisher Harris's corner, like just on defense. On defense. He offers more than Haas on defense.
Hmm. Oh, that's interesting. You know what? In the
But I'm
history
going
of
back
the
on my word, I'm not calling my
uh,
ranks him above Fisher Harris.
Mm-mm.
I just
at this point, yeah. In the history of the NRL, I don't think there are few players who play with more mana. We got more mana in the game than Fisher Harris. You
mm,
know, but I think when you talk about him, you have to talk about his tandem with Leota. So if we're going individual one on one, I would probably swing towards Payne Haas. I think I would pick Payne Haas because he is the same way I said Toto changed the way that wingers have to play in 2020. I think Haas maybe for the next generation of front rowers, he's got like an engine that you probably have to try and replicate. And I don't know if you can, but it might be something that it's a great player who's changed the way you have to play your position.
mm.
So I would go to Haas on this.
Yeah, he's yeah. I don't know. Like that's the thing. Like as the game changes, like you're saying, it's such a fast game now,
Mm.
and we thought you'd see a lot of these big players, big forwards. Change. The speed of the game would change the shape and size of these props. You get guys like Fisher Harris and Payne Haas doing what they do for these big minutes and such a fast game. So yeah, maybe. They just seem like freaks. I just can't see how you can find this
Yeah,
many
two
big
of the best.
guys.
Yeah, two of the
Yeah,
best.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, if that's what the kids see now and that's how they play, I mean, that probably becomes the future, and you just see huge boys running around like 5'8". So yeah, I think after last week too, just again, Payne Haas just doing the stuff that he does. He still doesn't have a good offload game. Like that's something he'll continue to work on and bring to his game. But man, yeah, what he can bring to the team and his engine, I think I tip it slightly to his side. So man, Payne Haas, yeah, that's a big call over. Fisher Harris from you, Tama. All right, going to second row, Sorensen versus Capewell. Capewell ex Panthers. How you guys seeing this matchup?
Ooh, I think Sorensen's probably got a bit more power and leg speed um, in this game than Capewell
Capewell.
has. I think Capewell what he brings to the Broncos is not really you can't really see it on paper, but on the field it's the leadership and just the calming influence I think he has on that left hand side. He's got a good combo with Ezra Mann going there. I think I think one on one with the gifts. Sorensen is such a devastating player one on one. You need to put two players on him. But I think with what they mean to the team, I'm going to swing at Capewell. And Capewell's got probably, apart from Reynolds, is probably the most. He's got big game experience.
Mm,
He's been there, done that on the Origin level. He's played big games for the Panthers in the past. So I'm going to say, Capewell for me.
Capewell. Who-
I have a soft spot in my heart for Kurt Capewell. I think he started the revolution in Penrith. He started this whole thing of players coming to Penrith to play for a championship team and turn their career to the next level or get that next big contract. I really rate Capewell, and I think just what he offers is different to Scott Sorensen. He's right. His like leg speed's probably unmatched and power runner, good defense. But I'll give it to Keeper in this instance just for those reasons exactly, like what he means to the
mhm.
team and how he can sew up the edge for the Broncos. Just like you're a young team, you kind of need a veteran presence out there, and I think so I'd give it to Keeper in this matchup.
We very generous. Me said false. What's that? Reverse psychology. All right. Rounding out the teams, number 12, Liam Martin versus Jordan Ricky. Jordan Ricky being quiet, but he was impressive last week.
He's coming.
Um,
He's coming on. He's coming on.
mm,
He's one player we've been waiting for years to really come out of and become one of those leadership players. I think he is a bit of a leader in the team, but I still don't think he's reached. I want him to be like an international level second rower. Which, if you're picking the Kiwis, you still juggle his name about. He's not a
mhm.
sure in.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and saying that he's still young, bro. He's got his whole career ahead of him. But you put him up against a world class, probably the best second rower going around at the moment. And I love this guy's Mungo. I
Mm,
just hate the fact he's New South Wales. But so that try he set up on the weekend, bro. He
mm,
gave that big don't argue
yeah.
to Munster,
Like,
bro. And by then that was all over on Red Rover, bro. So I'd have to give probably in a decent points winner to the bro there in the Panthers.
mm,
yeah,
So what,
I'm the same. It's obviously Liam Martin. He's the best second rower in the
Martin,
world.
yes, sorry, it was Liam Martin.
Yeah,
Big
yeah,
time
yeah.
in the world.
And Ricky and Luai, probably two members of the Malo Valley 13 of all time, because they super grubs, and I love it.
Mm.
I like that kind of player. I
mm.
think Ricky's got a bit of an edge to him, but yeah, I think it's hard
He
to get past
does.
the
He
best
was
second rower
lippy.
in the world. Yeah, yeah, it's hard to get past Liam Martin.
Oh yeah, no, Liam Martin is one of those players yeah, if he's an opposition, you just hate him. He's just such a solid defender and just breaks guys too. Like he's just yeah, just my lord, just one of those guys like yeah, he can really bend guys. So I like the way he plays. I think he was a deserved call up to get a blue jersey this year in the Kaya New South team, but good on him. Good call up. Um Probably good matchup again. I don't know so much of a toss of the coin. More, who's your favorite? Running around at lock, Isaiah Yo versus Patrick Carrigan.
Yeah,
How you
bro.
guys
Good,
going with this,
good
man?
battle. different styles.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like the incumbent champion of the belt at the moment, coming up to the new up and comer. Kerrigan's shown the last couple of years that he's a name to be reckoned with. Definitely top three 13s, which is a big deal because 13s is quite a well competition kind of
Matchup.
position in the
Mm.
NRL. And you got two of the best. And yeah, I think all round wise, tools in his kit bag, Yao's probably got a better all round game. Not to say that Kerrigan's not capable of ball playing. He can ball play. I think what tips it in Kerrigan's corner is pure work rate, like line speed on defense, and just how much work rate he gets through meters wise, and he really lays the platform. Him and he kind of when you talk about Tama, you talk about that the work between your two props, Leota and Fisher Harris. I think for Broncos, it's those three guys because Carrigan is like
Mm-hmm.
a third prop. But who I see like in in the Broncos, you got Walsh and our captain Reno, who's heavily involved in unleashing our backs. So we don't really rely on a ball playing 13. Whereas with the Panther system, I think I'm gonna have to tip it in Yo's corner with in terms of the points for the 13 jersey because Penrith kind of demands more from him. They really
Mm.
like using Cleary too wide, even Luai too wide, and they get that from the inside from Yo
Yeah,
when he's
skipping
after
out,
ball
he's
play.
like another 5'8"
Big
for
time, bro.
Cleary to
Big
go
time.
to. Yeah.
Big time. And just the shapes they use, it's they've been doing that fucking so easy the last 2 or 3 years. So yeah, for me, but like I said, if you're picking a Aussie team, bro, that's gonna be a hard one to pick because it's how the team it's just like that Yo works well in there, but we've seen in Origin that maybe New South Wales better served if they had picked Cameron Murray at 13. Do you know what I mean? Because Yale was the struggled in the Origin level. So at the moment, from what they've been serving up in the competition, yeah, for me probably wins that battle of 13. But fucking Carrigan's still going to be having his effect.
I yeah, I'll give it to you. I think you're right with it's like a clash of styles. I think yeah, plays like a second halfback, like second seven. You notice most of he pretty much gets just as many, if not more touches than Nathan Cleary
Mm.
because he takes after these initial hit ups by the back five, he ball plays a lot to the forwards, allows them to organize their next kind of shapes and moves. So I think yeah, it was not more important, but like in the system that Penrith have, I
A
think
big part, man. A big piece.
so much so that all the other 13s coming through the ranks, they kind of have to model their game after him in the Penrith system. I think Carrigan, I really rate Carrigan. I like his I just think he's like you said, like a third prop, but he did show times where he can ball play as well. But just within the importance to their system, I think yeah, we'll take that just because he
Mm.
is a bit more of a bigger part. Not saying not taking anything away from Kerrigan, who's also
But yeah, it had to take a long time to get there, bro. When he came out, like they played him on the edges first. He wasn't your because he's experienced. He's been around the last 10 years.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He's
And
been
it's
around
only
a
in
while.
that this Ivan Cleary era where he's become this ball playing 13. So I just wanted to mention because Carrigan bro is still young, a lot to learn, bro.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
he can be that man eventually when he needs to ball play. But like I said, Broncos don't need him to ball play.
Nice, boys. All right. And then leading to the interchange, I'll just do the interchange as a full rep.
Mm.
So on the Panthers interchange, you got Cogger, Lindsay Smith, Spencer Lemieux, and Luke Garner in. This guy, what an amazing guy. On the Broncos side, we have Tyson Smoothie, Brendan Piakura, Kirby Hetherington, and Keenan Palacia. Yeah, who do you see needing this interchange more?
I think
This
for me,
interchange going to make a difference.
I think Broncos probably got a lot more power in there. I only see Spencer Leniu. Really, they don't lose much if he's got to replace one of the props. But they've almost got like a bit piece kind of players. The rest, Mikoga, what's he there for? He's just in case of an injury, right? He's not going to come on and be that man at dummy half that's going to explode as a 14. He's more of a just in case we get an injury out there. So I don't know. A lot will come down to this Broncos pack because they lose a bit when they lose Fletcher and Haas off at the same
Mm,
time. I think it's still an experience in there, but these guys, Piakura and Balasia, probably got a bit more speed in their legs. So I'm gonna just a little edge to the Broncos. I think apart from Lingil, the other players don't really bother me too much.
Yeah. I actually think it's a Panthers wash on the interchange. Um, Lindsay Smith is probably been. He will probably play Origin in the next couple years. He's he's that
What
good.
a throwaway! He
It's
hasn't
like
done much of. He hasn't done
he
much.
he is like a younger version of Liam Martin, just bigger in Gambia, and he plays like him, bro. That's why I said this guy's a bigger version of Liam Martin. But the reason the Panthers bench is better is Spencer Leniu. Just
Yeah.
there's no better impact player than that guy in the league. He can smash a hole through your defense for the
Mm.
10 minutes he's on, and then he'll go back. But he showed last year in the finals. In the finals, he makes he really comes into his own. So he hasn't played a lot all year, and he's been really good on the spreads that he's come on in the finals. So I reckon you're right when it says maybe some of them aren't kind of like
But in saying that, Balasia has done all right. They've lost a
yeah,
bit. They lost. Of course, you lose a bit when two state of origin props come off.
yeah,
But Balasia and some of these other guys, Pukura, Smoothie when he comes on, he's a good ball player, bro. I think we probably got a little bit of an edge there in our backup nines. Smoothie's an out and out ball playing there in the middle.
mm,
But the way Billy Walsh has gone on, he hasn't had too many chances. Walsh has played big minutes, so but that'll definitely be a difference. And like I said, both starting packs can almost cancel each other out. We'll
mm,
see a difference in that when they make changes.
yeah,
yeah, I think I'm slightly gonna go to the Panthers on the interchange. Only the I guess the Broncos interchange. Policia has been awesome for them. Hetherington was been
Kirby's
he's been
fucking
massive. Yeah,
sticky, yeah.
yeah,
Just
man.
doesn't have the
But
size.
yeah, and I think the testament to that, you see a drop in the Broncos, but they bring their own kind of impact.
Mm.
I think that the Panthers, I guess I tip it to them just because of those facts, like just the size of someone like Lindsay Smith, but also
Also, but Gumby.
just their next man up kind of just the way these Panthers roll. Um, the interchange comes in, you don't kind
Yeah,
of get that huge impact. You get the huge impact from a new, but you kind of don't notice the changes because there's no drop, there's no significant drop. Like it kind of just they carry, keep things going until those boys are fresh to come back on. So you kind of don't really notice Fisher Harris has left the field until you kind of notice oh, we need someone to do a big hit up, or where is he? And then he kind of comes back in when these guys have done a job. So yeah, I think they kind of keep the machine rolling and keep it consistent. And that's probably why I tip
fair comment,
slightly
Pickle.
in terms of interchange. Um, but man, yeah, and with that tipping, the teams go 7-all. It
right
is it is
down the line,
literally a
eh?
flip of the coin. 7 ticks in each box for the teams. Um, man, so yeah, over to you boys. I don't know. I don't know if either of you are gonna sway, but you guys going anything other than your own teams? Tama, I'll go to you first, bro. Heart over. over mine, or are they both pointing the same way, mate?
Not a chance. There's only one winner in my head and heart, and I think
Nice.
the Panthers will get it done. I think. I think what they'll do is they'll drag the Broncos into a real finals game, a dogfight. They haven't had a real finals game. They just came out and pumped two lesser teams. I think will drag it out like we have in every game that they've played this year. But I think we'll see those moments of brilliance from the Reese Walsh. But I think we got enough to shut it down. I think I'll give you a prediction and I'll give you my Clive Churchill medalist. I think the score will be 18-14 to the Panthers.
Eesh.
And I think Clive Churchill medalist will be Brian To'o. I think
Oh,
he's going to be the difference because
Brian, total the difference, eh?
he's going to score 3 tries. All of our tries are going to be on his side. And I think with that and with however 350 million meters he makes, he'll be he'll be our Clive Churchill medalist.
Clive Churchill for Brian Toho. Nice call, bro. Nice rap. Sai, how you seeing this, mate? You got any confident calls
uh,
coming from the camp?
well, obviously, I'm going to root for the Bronx, and I think logically, I do see a way of them winning. I think if the score is 18-14, I think Panthers will win. I think that's the score. That's their score. I
Mm.
think Panthers, they're not capable of blowing apart the scoreboard. I think if the Warriors can keep Panthers at 18, I mean, sorry, if the Broncos can keep
Oh,
Panthers
getting all discombobulated, mate.
at 18, I think they're in with a chance, bro, because I think there's more points. I
Yeah.
think the biggest question you got
More
to
points
ask,
in the Bronx.
can the Panthers defend some of these tries that Broncos can pull on at will? And once their arm wrestle is over in the 20 minutes, maybe in the late in the first half, come second half, I think it's going to open up, and that's why I think Broncos can win, and it's the only chance of winning if they manage to open up the game, play some footy, and maybe like a 30 points to 12, 30 to 18 kind of a game where in a space of 10, 15 minutes, Broncos can just pile on some points really fast and then defend their. I just don't think the Panthers have it in them to score. They're a team kind of built tries, whereas Broncos can build tries as a team, and they can pull up tries, solo efforts, bro, all over the park. So it's going to be a high scoring game, and Broncos 13 plus. Sorry, it was
Who's your Clive Churchill, mate?
Clive Churchill, probably Reno,
Ooh.
as well as to go with his coach of the year, Dalian. Obviously, Kiwi Khan, coach, all of you guys. Don't really think he's going to give it to Kiwi, given the fact that we were wooden spoon our first ever 3 years ago, and then Kiwi comes in, missed the finals, and then we go straight to the grand final the next year. So that's a huge lift. Also, if we can, that's the story right there. If we win come for Sunday, you look where we were 3 years ago, bro. That's gone from the outhouse to the penthouse.
All happens on Sunday, mate. So you going to the game? Got your tickets on now? You're not going, mate.
Nah, mate. So I got your offer, but yeah, bro. You want to get married the next week, so I have to say for that one,
So
but
you can save up for next year's final.
you managed to get rid of it.
The confidence. Oh, sorry. Nah, nah.
There'll be some more grand finals to come.
Yeah. All right, boys. Man, looking forward to it. I don't know which one of you guys gonna join me next week. One of you guys might know if Ali you don't want to join next week, but hopefully you guys are back here for the wrap next week.
If we lose, I'll be back here anyway.
Yeah.
If we lose, I'll be back.
It's good. At least you will. I don't know if this guy's gonna come and beat us.
I'll let you know.
This guy now watching World Cup now. Shop boys, any last words?
No,
uh, You go.
No, not so much last year. I just want to thank this guy for having us on for the whole year. It's been a good year for the
Yeah,
episode,
mate.
and good to keep our Usos Pukalame alive.
Harder.
So yeah, bro, let's hope for another good year, bro, coming up next week. But yeah, up the brass, let's go.
The
Yeah.
brass up the pass.
Yeah. Same thing, Tana. Just want to say thanks for having us on and
Cool,
keeping
mate.
those 135 footy shows. Some of those early episodes filmed there in the garage were a bit iffy, and I think
We
Yeah, there's a
we
haven't
didn't have
featured.
much
No,
quality
yeah,
wins to talk about from the
that
Bronx.
was hard yakka for these boys trying to do episodes when their teams were all down the bottom.
yeah,
That's when the doggies were down the bottom, the Wires were down there, Broncos, and this guy Eyes and Stace are jumping on doing the episodes like Galofai, can you ask Tama to come and jump on your episode?
I think
So I think that's why those episodes were few and far between, mate. That's a lot of hard slog. So yeah, up the Warriors for being able to ride their wave and get through all these
Yeah,
episodes this year. And right here we are.
yeah. Thanks to you and Stace. Thanks to you and Cam's mouse.
Yeah, shuttles. All the best for this weekend, boys. Man, awesome. Yeah, let's see it. We'll catch up next week. Thanks for listening, everyone. Tune in next time.
Pass it.
Bye. Ciao, boys.